Somebody who's into spiritual development or understanding the growth in your gift, then this is probably the video for you. But I want you to listen to what I've got to say, because it's probably going to really be quite life-changing if you are somebody who does really follow the idea of wanting to grow their own spiritual self. So, excuse me, I'm just getting ready because we're just in from Christmas shopping, which was mental. But yeah, so looking at spiritual development, I obviously want to look at the best way that I can nurture and care for other people in a way that then isn't going to be detrimental to their journey kind of like long term, right? So looking at that, you have to think about what's the right way to approach making sure that when you're having a group of people together, that you're helping what each and every one of their individual natural talents are and how to nurture that and bring that out. So some people are super more into like being psychic and being more empathic and sensing emotions more and connecting with people, and maybe not so much with the spirit world or things like that. But here's when it becomes tricky, right? So my job as a mentor is to try and make sure that whatever we do, we bring out the best in that person. And then obviously we have to understand where people are at, i.e. where has their journey taken them so far, right? So what kind of work have they done? To what level or what degree are they at in their spiritual path? You need to come with me while I'm getting the place organised. But what kind of level are they at within their own spiritual development? Where has it led them? Where have they been before? What stuff have they studied before? Do they know anything? And also, a lot of people have a real strong opinion of themselves, and I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but they kind of have an idea of themselves that they are super advanced, they know what they're doing, they have done, you know, all this stuff. And my real opinion is, if you're an advanced medium, you should be able to make some incredibly accurate information mediumistically, i.e. speaking to the spirit world, or then psychically. And I don't just mean the generic pool of information, I mean like detailed information. I'm sorry this video is long, but I really want to get my point. The thing that I've found over the last year is a lot of people seem to have an idea of the growth, that they are super advanced mediums and that they really know what they're doing. And actually when you then say to them, you know, obviously you've made mediumistic connections before, you've given psychic readings before, you've been able to tap into the energies, you've been able to understand what the clairs are, you're able to understand the technicalities within the mechanics of mediumship, you know, the ethical and the moral practices that we make to be able to then help people grow and nurture them and not hurt anyone and not limit them and not hold them back and so forth. So actually then it transpires that it's not like that at all. That doesn't seem to be the case, that then people really then find themselves in a position where they're not, oh Christ, what I've come up here for isn't here. But what people find themselves in their journey is not what you kind of realise it to be. So that's very, very interesting to me, because then they realise, oh, actually, I don't know how to do that. And but they believe they can. And so everybody wants to be an advanced medium. And I'm going to make a separate point about this part next, but I will say it in this video because I believe it to be extremely, extremely important. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is some people then get to a point in their development, they've maybe done like 6 development classes, and I just mean like a 2.5 hour class that I teach. They maybe came 6 times. Obviously those classes currently are monthly. What does that then do? They then leave. And they kind of get in their own ego, and they don't realise they're in their ego, but they get in their own ego and they get above themselves, and then they think, well, I've done 6 classes and that's me, I'm amazing, and I never need to do any development. And actually true development is something that we constantly, through longevity, have to practice and develop and grow and unfold. So what I'm trying to get at is that we should never stop growing and never stop learning and never stop developing, but we should also be able to humbly say, I haven't done a lot of training, and I am able to then push myself to a point where I continue to train. Some of the best mediums in the world still develop, still grow, still want to learn, still want to push themselves into new boundaries, over limitations. So all I'm trying to get at for you is, do not just think that because you do one very brief short stint of things, that then makes you what we call an advanced medium. Follow me on socials at George the Medium. But anyway, if you're stuck with me this long, thank you so much. I would love to hear your opinion.